So, we have a problem. And no, it's not the fact that I triggered Stellar Reunion. At the time of recording this, I had a little over a week until Mavuika's banner ended, and no Primo Gems. Or pity. Not to mention, there are literally no good events running right now, because no, I'm not doing a co-op event. Right now, I have two options, because realistically, I'm not getting enough Primo Gems to get both her weapon and her C1, and I'd rather not just throw money at this account unless I have to. While her weapon is great, I just got Wolf's Gravestone on Standard Banner, and I don't have any pity built up on Weapons Banner. Meanwhile, on Character Banner, I also have no pity, but I have a guarantee. And Mavuika's C1 is pretty vital in situations like this account, where I don't have any other Natlan characters on the team. So my goal is to get her C1. With that in mind, what do we need, and what can we do? Well, I basically have zero pity. So let's assume I need to get 90 wishes. Ouch. That's 14,400 Primo Gems. If I try to get this done in 24 real-life hours, over the course of a week, obviously, that means I need to get 600 Primo Gems an hour, or an average of 10 per minute. Extra ouch. Now, if you watched my video when I was sick, you know I ran Spiral Abyss as well as the Imaginarium Theater. I also have several one-time domains I can do, but, well, I'm going to try my best to not waste unnecessary time. So I will probably try and not do main story quests because it's not worth all of that time for single wishes. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Unfortunately, this is going to be a bit stressful. And you know what the perfect way to combat stress is? Cute things, obviously. Which is great because today's video is sponsored by Yume Twins. Yume Twins wants everyone to experience Japan's world-famous kawaii culture from the comfort of your own home through a monthly subscription box. For the month of September, Yume Twins is encouraging everyone to embrace the cat lifestyle by slowing down, stretching out, and getting cozy this autumn with the theme Cozy Neko Nook. So, what is Yume Twins? Yume Twins is a kawaii subscription box full of high-quality, adorable trinkets and super cute trending items straight from Japan. Each month, you'll get a box stuffed with adorable licensed Japanese merchandise ranging from plushies, squishies, practical goods for daily use, stationaries, and more. Now, let's take a look at what's in the box. Up first is this adorable plushie. This Yume Twins original has two different versions, either the yellow Cupid version or the pink version like I got. Yume Twins originals are in-house designed by a team of kawaii experts. With the Yume Twins logo embroidered on the back, you know it's legit. I absolutely love this. It's so soft and it passes the squish test. Also included is this Neko hand cream. I love Japanese hand creams. I carry them with me all of the time, so this is a welcome inclusion. With a grapefruit scent, it'll make sure your hands are soft and smooth going into the cold autumn and winter months. One of the main themes of this month's box is Mofusan. First, in true blind box nature, there's a Mofusan mystery item. If you get this box, you'll get a Mofusan stationery, either a sticker set, a big sticker, a keychain, or a file folder. I got the big sticker, and I will definitely be putting it on my phone case when I'm not using my phone to record this. Speaking of Mofusan stationery, you can organize your desk this back to school season with a Mofusan Tower pen stand. There are two variations with this too, either the pink one or the white one like I got. You can tidy up your desk and keep it aesthetic. What would you use your stationery for? If you need ideas, how about writing a letter and you can seal it off with one of the Mofusan style taiyaki envelopes included in this month's box. I love taiyaki and I love adorable cat designs, so this is right up my alley. Now last but not least, a Mofusan blind box. I waited until I could open it on video, so you will get to see my live reaction. You get one of 5 minifigures, either the chicken, eel, shark, cow, or whale shark. Personally, I have one in particular I want to get, so we'll see if I get lucky. I got the shark! This was actually the one that I wanted. I have the Hipper Shark on my PC monitor, and of course, I took it off to show here. This little figure will absolutely be going on my desk too. This is just a sample of what you can get in a box. Each box has between 5 to 7 cute goodies each month, and like I've mentioned, these goodies all have variations, so let me know which version you get. You can look forward to licensed character goods from famous Japanese brands, Yume Twins originals and exclusive goodies, stationaries, and more. If you get this box, make sure you leave me a comment and let me know what surprises you get. Each box also has an information booklet giving more details about each item, as well as sharing kawaii culture in Japan. This month's box shares all about Mofusan, how much Japan loves cats, and some cat companions in famous animes. Make sure you order before the 15th of September to get your hands on this box. You can follow the link in the description and use the code Wren to get $5 off your first order. My code also works with Sakura Co., a regular friend of the channel which specializes in traditional Japanese teas and snacks, No Make No Life, which contains Korean and Japanese cosmetics and skincare, and of course Tokyo Treat, which has a monthly Japanese snack box that you can see me unbox in some previous videos. Thank you so much to Yume Twins for sponsoring this video, and now let's get Mavuika's C1. At the time, the most productive thing I could think of was Natlan exploration. The tonic gives Primo Gems for every 30 sigils, you get a decent amount of sigils and Primo Gems from leveling up the statue, and the Shrines of Depth give 80 Primo Gems each. Sure, a good percentage of Natlan exploration is locked behind world quests, but there's still plenty to do without it, so I pulled up the interactive map and got to work. Now, firstly, I have some exciting stuff to share. I am going to start streaming. It's going to be pretty sporadic at first, and will be exclusively on Discord for the first few while I work out any issues I might have. I have a few non-solo run challenge ideas that I prefer to stream, and plus, I think it would be fun to stream some stuff with Archons only. I doubt I'll stream my solo runs though, unless it's what I'm doing with Mualani, which will be pulling for her weapon and maybe constellations. We'll see how lucky I am. The current tentative date for the Mualani stream is Saturday, September 6th at 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 11 a.m. Pacific. I will also be converting what's recorded into a little bonus video, or within the next part of Mualani, so no worries if you can't make it. Additionally, I have a little survey in the description for people interested in buying merch. If you're interested, please fill it out so I can get a better idea of what people might want to see. Currently, my goal is an early mini drop in October and then a full drop in December, but I'm trying to find both suppliers within and outside of the United States to try and avoid any tariff-related costs, so we'll see how it goes. Now back to Genshin. Even though this was recorded a patch ago, at the time of this video going live, the 6.0 livestream occurred, and oh my goodness. Firstly, alright, I get it! At first, I was pretty against it. After all, I've been pretty dead set on this only being the 7, and adding someone else risks the slippery slope of, oh, what about Neuvillette? Oh, well, Farina isn't technically an Archon anymore, or similar. So I decided that my baseline for what constitutes an Archon would be who's included in the Archon art that they release on the anniversary. And, well, so I guess that answers that. Anyways, where to begin with the 6.0 livestream? Or, sorry, Luna 1. First, Lauma only and Flynn's only will definitely happen. Second, I'll do a poll to help me decide who to pull for Sumeru Chronicled Wish. On that note, if you guys are planning to pull in the Sumeru Chronicled Wish, let me know who you plan to pull for, and also share what standard 5-star you plan to get. As for me, I'm finally getting Mizuki on my main. I pulled her weapon when her banner released, but I never got her. On the topic, I've realized that the list of all the things I have to do between now and when I go to Korea is exponentially increasing, because now I'm going to have to go through all of my still accessible accounts to claim the free pulls for the anniversary. Tragic. Speaking of Korea, I am so excited because the Genshin Cafe in Seoul just announced that they'll be updating the theme to Fontaine. I am so thrilled. I mean, look at the food options. I'm gonna reach out to the cafe to confirm being able to film stuff in there, and as long as they give me the okay, you can definitely expect vlogs and trying the foods. There's also a Genshin themed PC cafe, which I will definitely be visiting. Truly a win for this trip. On that topic, if you don't follow me on TikTok yet, you definitely should, because a lot of my videos and vlogs from that trip will be posted on TikTok before they get converted into a video on YouTube. I don't use the account much at the moment because I don't really have anything to post, but I'm planning to try to increase my usage going forward, so I definitely recommend you follow. Okay, going back to the anniversary livestream, I'm also so thrilled for the free constellations. Obviously, it does nothing for my challenge accounts, well, minus a couple, but for my main account, I'll get Kokomi, Albedo, Wanderer, and Child, each to C3. I think. I have them all at C2 right now, so I might as well boost it a little bit more. Everyone was dunking on the selection of characters as, oh, these characters are all bad, that's why they need free cons. Truly, the meta hates to see me coming. Also, I'm very excited to see how many free Masterless Fortuna I get. I've gotten Kuching so many times on my main account over the years, I'm pretty sure she'd be at like C10 or something. So I will definitely be getting my main team to level 100 and getting free cons for them. On the other side of everything, the Genshin team said they plan to continue Genshin for 20 years. So I guess I've got job security for the foreseeable future, and this account will be a long-term task. Regardless, if you want a TLDR of the anniversary patch and the live stream, one of my lovely mods on Discord, Fishy, did a nice summary, so go check that out, and say thank you, Fishy, in the Gen chat. After a decent amount of exploration and freeing the poor Saurians, I decided to take a break from Natlan. First though, let's go see how we're doing with sigils. So far, we've made it to level 3 of the tablet, so that's, almost a single pull? Okay, maybe Natlan exploration is a little slower than I hoped. For now, I'll just go claim my commissions, and then decide what to do. Wait, Kanich? Were you there the whole time? No, I definitely would have seen him. Well, anyways, after talking to Kanich, it's time to return to Mondstadt. I decided to try the, rhythm game thing? I don't know. All I know is there's premium gems for each step of the tutorial, so hopefully I can accomplish, well, something. Unrelated to Genshin, but I have a question. Would anyone want to watch me trying out the new Kaiju number 8 game? It releases, well, today, actually, and I've been waiting for its release for a while. I know more often than not, mobile games from an anime franchise tend to be, well, hit or miss, but I still would really like to give it a try. And I could yap more about my beloved Soshiro, so I feel like that's a win. I tried seeing if I could get them to sponsor a video, but well, so instead I'll just go with the regular upload. Even if nobody wants to see it, I'll probably still upload it. So while I am absolutely a lover of Vocaloid and the Project Diva games, as well as a casual enjoyer of Superstar JYP, my biggest problem with any sort of rhythm games is if I let my brain wander even slightly, I will lose focus and immediately struggle. I need to just lock in and zone out to succeed, which was surprisingly difficult here. Alright, well, we've spent one evening farming and I've gotten 6 wishes. I know usually people hoard the wishes until they reach their goal, pull, but I'm not about to spend days farming if I can get her in under a 10 pull. Okay, 7 pulls, and no luck. This might be a little harder than I expected. Regardless, I decided I had done enough for the day and logged off to make a plan for more productive farming. So remember how I said that this would be over the course of a week, but Mavuika's banner still had 9 days? Well, don't worry, we balanced out the timing. I forgot to log in for 3 days. So now we're down to a little over 5 days. Oops. Even worse, we are at 16 pity. Great. The good news is there is at least one event I can do, this one in Fontaine. So after speedrunning that and getting my daily commissions out of the way, we get a couple more pulls. Alright, 19 pity. Back to Natlan we go. You know, I probably shouldn't show all the Natlan exploration because I will do a Natlan exploration video eventually, but well, what else am I gonna show? Also, I want my next Archons only video to be 100%ing Mondstadt, but I still don't know what I could possibly talk about in that video. Maybe I'll talk about getting ready for my trip to Korea. So I decided to go do this world quest because I remember it being easy and short, and while I do, I'm gonna take a chat topic from Discord. I made a thread on the server where people can submit topic ideas, so I'll be taking ideas from that. Before that though, we recently surpassed 800 members on the Discord, which is crazy. Come December, I'll be starting 12 Days of Christmas giveaways, but to participate, you'll need to be at least level 10. But there will be bonus entries for boosters, channel members, and for the higher chatting levels. So if you've been apprehensive to chat, here's your excuse. If you got stuck with this when trying to join, there's a chance you need to update your settings. In your user settings, go to chat, find emojis, and make sure show emoji reactions is turned on. If that still doesn't work, submit a ticket to get help from the mod team. Okay, so now on to topics I was given. Things you enjoy and don't enjoy about Genshin, be it character designs, character gameplay, environmental designs, etc. Honestly, I'm so easily content with things that it's hard to think of things that I don't enjoy. I think if I had to pinpoint a couple of things that drive me insane, it's the weapons material domains and talent book domains still being limited to certain days of the week. Also, the fact that the game can be considered pretty free-to-play unfriendly, especially now with needing to pull new characters or cons of characters to get any sort of progress in endgame content. Update, I wrote this whole tangent before the 6.0 livestream. Most of it is no longer relevant. You can listen to me rant regardless. Especially when like Honkai Star Rail has the free 10 pull from logging in for 7 days, it's obviously something they can do. On that note, I really wish they gave us more resin. Not just like raising the regular resin cap, I mean more fragile resin. Especially now with the ability to claim 3 times the reward, give us a way to craft it, or give us more, please. Oh, but Wren, Hoyoverse still needs to make money. Then give us more skins. I would throw an unholy amount of money at a skin of Wanderer in his old Scaramouche fit, or any of Child's outfits that we've seen over the years. I can appreciate that Genshin has made an effort for the skins to all be lore relevant, but I promise you it's okay if you branch out from that. Besides, people who spend money on Genshin will spend it regardless. But when your endgame content, which has been the primary way to earn primo gems for late game players, becomes incredibly difficult or outright impossible for people who aren't pulling every character, especially with Natlan having a Night Soul blessing and now Nod-Krai having lunar reactions, you alienate a decently sized player base. But then again, this has been preaching to the choir for years, so. Circling back to lore, let's talk about things I actually like about the game, which, despite how it just sounded, is a much larger group than things I find frustrating. I absolutely adore how much importance Genshin has put into lore, and how much of the story has been scattered throughout the game since 1.0, but in such a subtle way that it seemed innocent until it became relevant. I got flamed for this take on Twitter, but the fact that Bennett being from Natlan was kind of a haha crack theory sort of thing, and there was no actual in-game hints except for a single poem he wrote in the first Windbloom. However, the fact that he's so unlucky was entirely due to being from Natlan and being too far from the Natlan ley lines. I had people trying to tell me Bennett's story details said he was from Natlan, but all that showed me is there are way too many people who are so proudly loud and wrong because his story details said he was from Mondstadt and only ever said, and I quote, "There was once a predicament of incomparable despair, a predicament that had all but swallowed an old adventurer. The scorching flames scalded his skin, the deafening thunder almost ruptured his eardrums, and the hollering winds threatened to rip his soul from him. At the end of his hellish journey, what awaited him was a baby." That was all we knew about Bennett's origins. And scorching flames, deafening thunder, and hollering winds could have been from virtually anywhere in Tibetan 1.0. Could have been Inazuma, could have been the Sumeru Desert, could have been a weird unseen location in Mondstadt. We can only look at it now and say, oh, Marjavari, because we know it exists. But the fact Natlan and importance of Natlan's ley lines to the people of Natlan was within the game in 1.0, just like the Song of the Welkin Moon, the Shades, and everything, and nobody thought anything of it because we were missing key information to put it all together, that's peak. I will die on the hill that Genshin does not get enough credit for how phenomenal the lore of the game is. Despite how many times I've played and replayed the Archon quest, quests, I always enjoy it, and I don't think there's a single nation where I dislike the story. I mean, sure, there are things that could have been done better, but it's never been enough to make me dislike a specific nation as a whole. Also, I do like the character designs for the most part. I've said it before, but I think Auroron is the only character whose design I really dislike, because I just associate it with a bad meme, but the fan art of him and his general personality does compensate for it. Okay, so progress check-in. We've got 2 new levels of the Tone of Flame and 4 wishes. So the whole 10 Primo Gems a minute is definitely not happening. Let's hope we get her early.
The next day.
So for today, I decided to start collecting some of the Pyroculi? These things, to level up the statue. That way, I can get Shrine of Depth keys and 100 Primo Gems each level. Also, I felt like the series has been sorely lacking Venti, so while he serves absolutely zero use in Natlan exploration, we'll be running around with him today. So going back to the Kaiju number 8 game, I've also gotten questions about branching out to other games. I've also gotten a bunch of questions about Uma Musume, since I talk about playing it a lot in my Discord. Honestly, towards the beginning of my channel, I tossed around the idea of a second channel for other games, because YouTube really hates it when you move into different content, especially with games. But truthfully, if I did that, I'd need to hire an editor too, because I don't have enough time to film more videos, let alone edit more. And I'm definitely not hiring an editor anytime soon, because I just started working with a manager. For now, we'll start with trying the Kaiju number 8 game and see how Danheng only goes. Yeah, no, I'm good. You know, the funny thing about this, I already have 100% exploration of all of the initial areas released in Natlan on my main account. Why? Because I had to literally collect every single luxurious and precious chest to find those stupid ring fragments. Every single one. Another Tono level, another 50 Primo Gems, and more importantly, another 2 wishes. But first, let's check the pity. 23. Okay, now we're at 26 pity. Only 64 wishes till guarantee, and exactly 4 days left. Great. After a little bit more exploration in Natlan, I decided to return to Liyue, for some reason. I ended up deciding it would be somewhat productive, I guess, to complete some of the missions in the handbook, because it can get you 100 to 150 Primo Gems per level. Was this particularly time efficient? No. I think in my head I thought, oh, this is 2 for 1. I can work towards Liyue 100% and farm, but it wasn't very useful. Paimon, I'm trying to collect treasure. Do you mind? The real ones remember when this quest was called the Chi of Guyan. Now, I will properly show this when I try to do 100% in Liyue, but oh man, I don't know why I opted to suffer by doing this quest now. Regardless, I collected all the Geoculi in this area, realized I have under 3 days until her banner ends, and that in order to get the 150 Primo Gems from the book, I need to get the Liyue statue to level 9, and I just got it to level 7. Maybe I should just spend the money now and save my time. I ended up getting monumentally sidetracked and doing exploration in Inazuma. The real reason I could never hire an editor is because I just do absolute nonsense all of the time in these recordings. Speaking of editing, I'll probably make the Kaiju video less edited, well, kind of more like these videos, and put it between Arlecchino and Fontaine and Natlan, so it's just not awkwardly back to back. I feel like that would be fitting timing. I'd still like to get those videos, Mulani Part 2, and Lauma only before the end of September, so we will hope for the best. After my adventures in Inazuma, I did end up being able to level up Raiden's weapon, which accomplished 2 tasks in the book, so I guess that's something. Unfortunately, my brain decided to stop working, so I went to fight Storm Terror at level 4, because I figured, well, I need to fight it at level 2 and level 3, so I can just fight it at level 4 and get both of them plus anything bonus. Right? Wrong. I had to specifically fight level 2 and level 3 separately. I guess if anything, the good news is I managed to get 2 5-star artifacts, a billet, and a Dream Solvent. I don't even get that lucky on my main account. Oh, speaking of Dream Solvent, when is Genshin going to let us convert weekly boss drops from one boss to another boss's drops? I have so many Child and Dvalin drops on my main account, and I don't need them anymore. Please let me convert it to like Arlecchino drops or something. Or maybe that's already a thing and I just haven't found it yet. More Liyue exploration later, I completed the Chi of Yor quest, and I got the Statue of the 7 to level 8. All of this for a single wish is tragic.
Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely.
Several hours later, I finally reached level 9 for the Liyue statue. How many wishes did I get from all of this? 2. We're now at 28 pity. This is fine. Eventually, I get every handbook mission done except for 1. I need to equip 2 characters with 5-star artifact sets. I figured the easiest way to get Gladiator's finale would be the child boss fight.
The mortal plane.
Yeah, that's actually fitting for this video. Finally, we get the last artifact we need. We can complete the missions and get another pull. I don't know why I expected anything else.
The following day.
Okay, a new day, a new strategy. This time, unlocking teleport waypoints in Fontaine, mostly because exploring the underwater area makes me feel at peace. Another question I got asked a lot is about Uma Musume, and honestly, I am loving it. It's definitely become a nice cozy game for me to play. Unfortunately, I do end up regularly stopping what I'm doing while working to play, which is definitely a problem. Oh well. We have less than 24 hours and 500 Primo Gems. abyss. This is not going well. 33 pity. Great. On the topic of pulling for the Archons, I was asked if I'll pull for Nahida's weapon or save for Columbina. While saving for Columbina would make my wallet hurt less, I will of course be pulling for Nahida's weapon. At least if this game's gonna last 20 years, I can at least have plenty of time to save for character C6 and R5 weapons. At this point, I decided to go back and try the Imaginarium Theater and Spiral Abyss. With the Imaginarium Theater, I can at least do the first 2 rounds with both Mavuika and Farina, since the current rotation is only Hydro and Pyro, and get the first clear awards for the 2 acts. I tried doing all 3 acts, but it was a bit of a struggle. I guess if anything, a perk for Columbina is if she's Cryo, I'll finally have a full element group, and if she's not, I'll at least have another character for Imaginarium Theater or the Abyss. Speaking of the Abyss, after finally getting through Act 1 and 2 of the Imaginarium Theater, it's time to go take on the Abyss. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be streaming occasionally, and one thing I will be streaming eventually with this account is the co-op achievements. I'll be playing with Midya and Violet, and I haven't decided if I'm going to make Midya use an Archon, or if I should just let her use Kaveh to show off the only Kaveh main that I know. After clearing the first 8 floors of the Abyss and running out of both time and things to do, I decided to try the Onslaught. Honestly, I don't think Keqing's voice change is that bad. I think maybe I'm just more used to Paimon's voice, so her voice change jarred me a little bit, but not seeing Keqing as often, it doesn't sound that bad at all to me. Also, I doubt anyone noticed, but I do have a new mic, and so for this video and maybe a couple future videos, there might be a weird adjustment of me trying to figure out the mechanics for it, and I've already noticed that it kind of doesn't have much of a pop filter, so please bear with me while I get through the test phase. Regardless, the first few levels of Onslaught are easy enough to do. However, I did not succeed any higher than that. Trust me, I tried. Okay, so something I've been kind of putting off is the Ascension domain now that I'm AR45, but it rewards Primo Gems, so might as well. So I was thinking about future challenge ideas because I feel like it's a little repetitive to only do solo runs, so to mix it up, I'm thinking I'm going to start a Nuzlocke. I'm not really sure if I'll make it a single video or a challenge series though, but regardless, what other challenges should I consider? With the exception of universal challenges like Nuzlocks, I'd prefer to not do a challenge that's been done already, but that's also kind of tough to do because there's a finite amount of challenges. For the Nuzlocke, I've also been going through the rules for the Pokemon Nuzlocks and trying to figure out how I can best make it relevant to Genshin while still trying to best appreciate the Nuzlocke and stick to the rules that it has. Now that we're ascended, I ended up going back to Natlan for a while, and I rapidly realized it was going to take a miracle to get Mavuika C1 without spending money. But the less money I have to spend the better, so I guess I'll tell myself that while I continue to farm. That's fine. Okay, there was a video I saw once where someone managed to climb this without doing the world quest. How did they do that? Did it get patched or something? Well, regardless, I wasn't able to do it, and frankly, I probably shouldn't be wasting what little time I have, but oh well. Anyways, I leveled up the Statue of the Seven in Natlan, and with the wish I got from those Primo Gems, I'm now at 40 pity. Nearly halfway there, and 18 hours to go. I also got another Shrine of Depth key, so now 41 pity. It's starting to feel like I won't get lucky on this account. Going back to questions I was asked on Discord, I was also asked what specs and such my PC are, which gives me a funny story to share. Despite being a content creator and a gamer, I have almost zero understanding of computer tech. I used the same MacBook from like middle school until I graduated high school, and I never really learned about non-OS devices. When I finally built my PC, it consisted of me buying the case, and my tech-savvy friend loaning me his old PC parts because he was upgrading. Well, anyways, I recently had to redo some cord management, so I used the time to dust because, well, I don't do that as much as I should. When I was reconnecting everything, I noticed 2 areas on the PC to plug an HDMI cable in for my monitors, so I texted said tech-savvy friend asking about how I'm supposed to reconnect them. Well, as it turns out, you're supposed to plug your monitors into your GPU, which, yeah, in hindsight, that sounds obvious, but unfortunately, I did not know that, and I had one monitor plugged into my motherboard. Genuinely shocked I didn't fry it, or maybe that's not possible, who knows. I definitely don't. The only thing I know about PCs is that I like pretty LED setups. Back to the challenge, by this point it was literally midnight, but I only had a few hours left of her banner. I couldn't let all this effort go to waste. Oh good, getting pulled into a world quest. Just what I need. After an unholy amount of time trying to solve a single flying challenge, and a little bit more exploration in Natlan, I decided to go back to the Spiral Abyss. Sure, it's not as good reward-wise as the first 8 floors, but, well, I'm desperate. What just happened? Well, anyways, after that, I finally went to bed. A few hours later, we were in crunch time. I mistakenly thought I had until the servers go offline for update, but, well, I think after I do the 100%ing Mondstadt video, I'm going to try to run through some of the Archon quests and get the account to AR50 so I can ascend everyone to level 90 and start farming for talents. That's definitely gonna take a while. At least now we can get 3 times the rewards. Okay, this feels like Inazuma all over again, where I was just too dumb to solve some of the puzzles. Okay, so we have 2 hours left. I've got 50 pity. Do I think I'll get upwards of 40 wishes in 2 hours? Absolutely not. Though I guess I at least managed to get 50 wishes in basically 16 hours. Well, that's at least how much footage I had for this. So I think that's a pretty good accomplishment. I tried doing Shenhua's quest,
Oh my god, I can't believe my eyes.
but I rapidly realized this was not going to be worth my time because it took longer than I thought it did. I did Mavuika and Emily's trial runs, as well as a few one-off domains to get enough primos for one final wish before I broke my wallet out. Okay, well, let's see how much I have to spend. Well, I definitely would not have made it to 73 wishes. So, what did we learn today? That I need to stop putting things off for the last minute. Farming is best done slowly over time, not a couple of days before the patch ends. Unfortunately, I have not logged into this account since this video was recorded, so at least we'll get 20 pulls from the anniversary patch. Thank you so much to my channel members, and a special shout out to Yuru and TB Nothing because I forgot you both in my last video and I realized as soon as I uploaded it. I am so sorry. Besides the Kaiju number 8 game impressions, I'm planning to finish up Arlecchino and Muulani, as well as do Llama only for September. And don't forget to join the Discord server to see me pulling for Muulani on September 6th. If you're new here, be sure to like and subscribe and hit the little bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time!